Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be just doing a baking vlog, and I'm going to be showing you guys a couple things that I may be making in the next couple of weeks. So the first thing that I am wanting to make is some scones. I made this once before and it was pretty good. I don't know if it was like exactly how it was supposed to be, but it seemed scone-like to me, or like biscuit-like. I don't know how it's necessarily supposed to be, but everyone who at least tried it, which was some people in my choir class, enjoyed it too, and then also people at home. So yeah, anyways, let's get baking. Okay, so first we are making some scones. For this recipe, you would basically have to shred up the butter. Mine actually wasn't really cold enough, so it kind of got soft as I was continuing to shred it and as I was trying to pick it up. So I would probably freeze it a lot longer before I actually started. But I was like, let me just make these scones now, I think. Because I think this is actually at nighttime. I think I was going to just make it and then wait until the morning to actually bake it because I wanted to have it for breakfast. Let me just say that all these videos you're going to see, some of them I made like weeks ago because I'm recording like the end of August. So yeah. So as you saw me rolling out this dough, I think I might have maybe added a little bit too much flour, or I don't know, because in the end, let me just say the scones were a little bit maybe dry, or it could be overbaked. It really all depends. But I made these into 4 different batches. So we have the blueberry ones that I'm doing right now. I always have to continue adding a bunch of flour, so maybe I should try adding a little bit less as I do things like this that I need to roll out. And then there was like a mini chocolate chip one, and then there was a cinnamon brown sugar one, and then there was just a plain vanilla one with just like, it was gonna have sugar on top. But I think, oh no, wait. There was like a savory one. So it had like cheese and Parmesan and all that. But I didn't record the chocolate chips one. I don't know why. I thought I did. Maybe I deleted it, or I just didn't do it. I really don't know why. But this is like the cinnamon one, with just some cinnamon, and sometimes I add other spices, but I think I just did cinnamon. And so here's some Colby Jack cheese, I think. And I always love adding spice to my stuff because spicy stuff is just really nice. And it wasn't really spicy. I just add everything that I would add to like chicken or like pizza or like anything. So currently it's the next day and I'm adding the little buttermilk or heavy cream thing you're supposed to add on top. And I think another thing that might have made this different than the first time I made it is that I used heavy cream instead of buttermilk, because either I didn't have enough left or I don't know. And here's the baking process, which we all love. I think I have a lot of these in there. I don't know. But as you can see, it starts to get like a regular like color, but then it gets a little bit too brown as it bakes. But this is what the texture kind of looked like, and all the different flavor things that we had. Yeah. Blueberry, chocolate chip. And then here's some blueberry muffins that I made. I didn't roll the blueberries in flour, so it tasted kind of sour. Then here's some decorated sugar cookies I had for a neighborhood party, and the other desserts. Some yummy cinnamon rolls, which again, they taste like Hawaiian bread kind of, but still super cinnamony and sugary. Really nice. And then we have these like healthy peanut butter oatmeal type of cookies type things. We have some like chocolate chip oatmeal cookies here. And then the other ones are like these like those like oatmeal cream pie sandwich things that you might buy. So I just basically filled it with peanut butter just because might as well. I think I made these cookies with almond butter and they didn't really taste good by themselves. But then you have like the filling with it being peanut butter. And some of it I piped, some of them was just like straight peanut butter that I just spread on top of them, or sorry, not on top of them, but in them. They tasted good. The color of my phone makes them look very golden in the lighting when you look at it. I think for like some of the videos that you might see of this and the other ones, like you see how golden and gold, yellow, brown it looks? Very bright in saturation. And here's some rough pastry dough that I'm rolling out. I made this once before and I basically made the same thing. I was gonna make something else, but I was like, let me just do the same thing just because. So basically I made like these apple pie, what was it? Apple pie, not turnovers, but I guess turnovers. I don't even know what it was, but something like that. And something like kind of what I made the first time that I used this dough. Basically with rough puff pastry, you're supposed to like do a whole bunch of folding, which helps like the butter get all incorporated and doing all that nonsense than what you would have for like regular puff pastry, which they do something and you get those flaky stuff. This one, I don't think it was as flaky. Either I didn't roll it all out enough, but it was okay. I tried making some savory ones. It tasted very flavorless. No flavor at all without the sauce. And then I had like the apple pie type ones. Whenever I make apple pie, anything, it always gets over flooded. Then we have our lovely cream puffs. I'm just adding on the crackling that I add on top. I have the full video already up, so you can just see all that. And I'm piping it in with the filling. This is the caramel one, and then there was a cookie butter one, which I could have added some more cookie butter just to give it more of that taste and flavor, but they were still really good. I love the caramel one because I love caramel. Here's another video of something that I already have, donuts. I have a lot of these which I already have their own separate videos or maybe some shorts, but basically I'm just rolling out the donuts. I think I had like 14 here, but then I tried to make them properly, so like it came out to be like around 10. But this recipe, and I don't even know why, but like the whole recipe thing, like it didn't really work out. It was very tough in the end. I think because I didn't use milk because we had no milk, and I had to use water, and I didn't let the water sit with the yeast like I usually do because it said you don't have to do that. And then we have some with glaze on top, and yeah. So here's some sugar cookies that I had for my birthday. Again, video should be up by the time I am posting this, but you have some square ones, and I have it decorated with some leaves and vines at the background of it, and then a cross, and some circle ones, as you can see over there in the corner, which says, God bless 15. And it was okay. I was just using it for more decorating practice, but another full video up. And then here's my cake, a beautiful rosette cake, which is actually the one that I wanted to do for my birthday last year. So I just decided to recreate it. It's light pink, strawberry cake, pretty nice. I might have to tweak up my frosting recipe though, because for some people it's too buttery. But like if I add more sugar, it will just be super sweet. But we will see how I can tweak it up to be better. Now we're moving on to the cookie bars that I made. So basically, these cookie bars, I just add like Oreos, sprinkles, sometimes like chocolate chip type stuff, and sometimes brownies usually, but we didn't have those. But the first time that I made these, they worked out really nice. I remember cutting down the sugar, and a lot of people loved them because I remember bringing them to choir for people to try, and a lot of people took it. It was all gone. Anyways, but then the next couple times I made it, it just was very dry and crumbly like sand. So this time I decided to follow the recipe exactly, and even I had a food scale, which probably could have been one of the reasons why it didn't work out all those other times, but it worked out great. But it was a little bit too sweet for my taste, so I'm going to try to see if we can still keep everything else the same, but try to cut down the sugar maybe to half, because I remember doing 1/4 and 1/4 of the brown sugar and the white sugar, but maybe that could have also been another thing that caused it to not to work those other times, or I don't really know. So maybe it might be like 3/4, so it's not like a full cup of sugar. But I actually underbaked this. So I usually did 20 minutes, but
they said that it could have been over baked all the times that I made it. So I did 18 minutes, but like when I cut into it, like some of them like were really hard to get off of the little foil paper sheet thing. And so I kind of put them back into the oven. They got a little bit more brown, but maybe I just didn't let it set enough because you're supposed to let it set. Anyways,
and here we are making some red velvet cupcakes, I think, or these are the lemon. I think these are red velvet. But basically, I'm just doing a whole bunch of tests for recipes that I want to use in my baking business by God's grace. I said this in a short, so we're making a small amount of red velvet, a small amount of lemon, and then we had the cookie bars that I just showed, and that's why I have these mixing bowls that are in the stand mixer, because you can do it. You just have to be really careful that the mixing paddle doesn't really like break the bowl. So that's why I have to like stand here 24/7, but the entire time, just to make sure that doesn't like affect, and as well as it doesn't mix properly when you just leave it standing. But anyways, these were like really red, and as you can see, it's like really red. And it kind of stayed that color, which is pretty nice. I think I only used 3 drops. This is gel food coloring. And let me just say that the cupcakes, they had this kind of crispy top on them, both of them. So I think they just were a higher temperature than what the oven said, as well as it could be a little bit moister, as my mom said. And the lemon ones, which is the ones we're making right now, I'm going to try to adding more lemon zest, less extract, because you don't want it to be too extracty. Here's the lemon zest that I'm adding, but it wasn't a lot. I only used 1 lemon, but probably when I make a regular amount of 12, I'll probably use like 2 to 4. Who knows? Just try to get it as lemon as we can. And I decided not to use my dry buttermilk because we are cutting the recipe in half a lot and it just doesn't work out correctly. Let me just say for the red velvet cupcakes, I accidentally added the regular amount of vinegar. So I just added a little bit more sugar just to kind of balance it out because I didn't really want it to be too vinegary, if you get what I mean. I also added yellow just to make it more lemon. And we're putting them into the little cups. This one, like, I had to really, like, spoon it in, like, wipe the bowls off very much so then it could get to 6, so we're not wasteful. And the red velvet ones, there was still some left over, but, like, the cups were already very full, as you can see. They kind of rose a little bit much in the oven, but, like, it deflated down, which I don't think is good. So it was kind of like muffin tops, I think, because it was too hot of an oven, like I said before. But this is what they turned out like. Really nice tasting, though.
So last thing on the list that we made, the final day of August, was macarons. And so I just made vanilla macarons because the last time I made it, it was chocolate. And so I did the same recipe that I always do, but this time I used a food scale and I just try to use the tips that other people have said to help the macarons work, as well as I had some new equipment. But this time, sadly, the macarons didn't end up working. I think because I didn't follow the typical way that I usually did, and I tried using those new tips. So next time that I make macarons, which probably won't be for a while, I'll probably just follow the old way. Because let me just say, they looked really nice, but they didn't really have the right texture. They also tasted good too, but you will see this in a future video, either after this or before this. Here's how they turned out. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, tips, or things you want me to make, feel free to comment down below and have a blessed week. Bye.